And maybe we can all take a second of silence, and everyone for themselves. You can put some intention in the space. Feeling that we are in this space together and that everyone's on their own at the same time in the space of our homes. And how we are creating this space of support together. And how we are never really alone, how we have a whole web, a network of people that we are connected with, that we support, that support us. People we met, people that we will maybe meet or maybe never meet, but somehow we are connected on a soul level. And so much support from all realms of existence. Just feeling ourselves as part of a web. Which is invisibly supporting us. And taking a couple of moments to give ourselves and our body at the moment, with all the feelings and thoughts and sensations and aches and pains. Just a moment for appreciation of the whole body. Just the home for our life, for our consciousness. And maybe asking ourselves, what do we need right now? What would feel good? Maybe to stretch, maybe to breathe, maybe to move, maybe to be still. Inviting the breathing to open the spaces on the inside of the body. And just following the path of comfort right now. What is most comforting for me at the moment? Maybe it's just to lay down still and not move, or quite the opposite. I invite you to follow the pathway of the nose and mouth with the touch and sensation into the neck, and into the organs. First the lungs, feeling the connection of nose into the pharynx and into the windpipe and into the lungs. So when trying to access the lungs, we just try to invite the feeling in the depth of the body, in the contents of the cavities. Just feeling the connection of the air passageway into the lungs, and also of the mouth when we swallow into the esophagus and into the stomach and the whole digestive tract. And remembering that both the lungs and the digestive tract, they came from the same origin embryologically. So let's spend a little time accessing that. All these soft organs which fill out the front of our body, which come from the yolk sac, from our initial nourishment, feeling the fullness of the organs, the softness, and the movement. Breathing, touch, whatever comes up now from these structures, a wide range you have to choose. Whatever movement, just follow it. Follow the sensation, follow it in presence, follow it with kindness and love. And remembering this ability to give kindness and love to our tissue. Saying hello and saying everything will be fine, and greeting ourselves, nurturing ourselves, holding our insides. Feel how the lungs are filling up the thoracic cavity. And how the digestive tract is filling the abdominal cavity. Feeling this stretchy organ tissue of the lungs, spongy tissue. These contents, and how the breath is making space. And can we invite this feeling of sponging in the tissue of the organs? How can the organ tissue stretch and widen and then condense? And how can the movement arise from the inside, so that our outer container reacts to the movement from the inside, so that our bones and our muscles and our skin also start condensing and expanding, but through the movement of the organs. Feeling the places in our lungs or anywhere in the digestive tract where there is a little need for a squeeze. And release. If something comes up, just breathing in deeply and with a long, prolonged exhalation, letting it out. And remembering the bloodfulness of our lungs, how they are filled with veins and arteries, and the blood supply there is connecting the lungs with the heart. And remembering how our heart is in the center and how our lungs are holding the heart. They are embracing the heart. So, what is the movement of our heart and lungs? What is the relationship? How do they move? Do they move like one block, like one glunk glued together? Can we find the differentiation of movement of heart and lungs? Thinking of them as a joint, where the heart is the ball of the joint and the lungs are like sockets. inviting the fluid between them. How can our lungs glide over the heart? And how can our heart rotate inside the lungs? Releasing the adhesions and stickiness. Remembering that around the heart and around the lungs there are all these fluid membranes. And that this is a joint, that there is fluid and space between them. And what else is there in the thoracic area? We can touch with our fingers the bones of the sternum. In staying in this dance of heart and lungs, but just noticing this bony structures that protect the heart space, especially the sternum, like a shield in the front. Having the top part, the manubrium, and then the long body of the sternum, and then the xiphoid process. How can these bones move? And this one bone, the whole sternum and individual parts. And if you find the upper part of the sternum, the manubrium, and you find the lower part, the lowest, the xiphoid process, how do they communicate? Can we make a movement where they come towards each other and then they grow apart, move apart? If you place your fingers on the bones, it can maybe help you. And how when they move apart, we open in the chest and open in the heart space. And when they come together, we kind of bend forward. And feeling the xiphoid process as the tail in the front. How can we move through space with xiphoid leading? And I also invite you to, from the xiphoid, touch your ribs. This incredible structure of bones from the neck almost all the way to the pelvis. These pairs of ribs, like tentacles, which connect xiphoid with the spine. And how can our ribs move in relation to the sternum and in relation to the heart and lungs? And also, how do all these structures, especially the heart and lungs, send energy into our arms and hands and fingers? And how do our hands relate to the movement of the lungs? And how do we hold and embrace our heart and our lungs with our hands? And at the same time, feeling the connection of the hands with the heart. And adding one last piece for the end, just like a drop into the soup. Behind the manubrium, the gland of thymus. Just gently touching the upper part of the sternum and going a little bit behind it. The thymus gland, and maybe letting the voice out from the thymus, trying to initiate the voice from the thymus. Mm, mm, mm. And allowing the resonance to just inform the whole body, to inform the head, to inform the hands and the lower parts into the heart space, into the belly, into the pelvis and legs. And feeling our soft heart in the middle, the tenderness of our heart, the fragility, the but also the strength in the love that it can carry, produce. And then feeling the lungs protecting the heart, holding it gently, and feeling the thymus protecting it from above. And the sternum protecting it from the front, and the ribs from all sides, and the spine from the back. And all the layers of connective tissue and muscles protecting it, protecting the jewel of the heart. And its depth. As if we are guarding the greatest treasure in our center, in the heart. And our skin wrapping everything in the end. And our skin touching the outer world. And again, remembering all the support that we have from people known, unknown, different layers of existence. And slowly ending the exploration for today.